All right, so we're doing a Russell Brunson react video today. Haven't done one of his. I don't know if I've ever reacted to Russell Brunson stuff. Anyways, it's what we're doing today. If you don't know, he is the founder of ClickFunnels. This is not sponsored. I'm actually not the biggest fan of ClickFunnels. I've tried to use it several times. It's a little clunky. There tends to be some software issues. Not saying that his strategies and methods don't work. I actually have his books somewhere back here behind me. I actually really love his books. They're phenomenal. Strategies and overall blueprints. Just don't always love the specific ClickFunnels product. I've also tried Boomly. He recently bought that. Really cool idea, just didn't work as well as we wanted it to for generating leads based off of videos, right? Now, that being said, he just came out with this video one day ago saying that this is the quickest way to increase your sales. And having done over $3 million in sales myself, and I'm a little bit behind him, he's done over $1 billion in sales with ClickFunnels. I want to see if what he says stacks up against what I have experienced at Laney Media. Now, before we jump into the video, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. If you don't trust me, wait until you get a little bit of value from this video to hit the subscribe button. It just makes a huge difference to me in reaching other entrepreneurs just like you who want to grow their businesses and invest the profits. That being said, let's jump into the video.
I want to share with you what I think is the easiest secret to get people to give you money now, or to register for your web classes, or your webinars, or your courses, or your challenges, whatever it is you're trying to get people to do. One of the number one questions I get over and over again in the comments is people who have built a
He talks way too fast to do 1.5 speed. He talks like me, so we're gonna go back down to normal speed on this one, guys.
funnel. They try to drive traffic and they're like, hey, I had people register for my webinar, but nobody showed up. Or I tried to do a live event and nobody showed up. Or I made an offer to sell them something and nobody actually bought it. Like, what can I do, Russell, to make it better? So I started thinking about it, and I found a couple really cool things I want to share with you that I think that you can take and immediately apply to any business to get people to buy more products, to show up to the things you're trying to do, and so on and so forth. In fact, I've been testing this now for the last couple months with some insane results. I'll show you actual application of it. But before I get there, I want to kind of tell you guys a story.
So, number one thing I'd add in here is if I was trying to get people to show up, register for my webinar, join my email list, buy my product, course, coaching, consulting, service, whatever it is, short form organic content right now in 2024, you have an unbeatable way to create short form content and then distribute it across multiple platforms using Metricool, right? You can publish to Facebook Reels, Instagram Reels, TikTok, Pinterest Idea Pins, YouTube Shorts, soon to be, and you can publish already, but soon to be a LinkedIn Shorts feed, 6 pages, average, even if you get the worst amount of views possible, so like 200 view jail, that's 1,200 views per video, post 3 a day, 3,600 views a day over an entire month. That's over 100,000 views on your content. Quickest way to build a brand, get traction, and reach your target audience, all for $0 besides the use of your phone right here.
A lot of you guys know Napoleon Hill is my favorite author. He wrote this book called Think and Grow Rich. This book was actually published in 1937. But what a lot of people don't know is that 20 years before he wrote and published this book, Napoleon Hill actually taught an advertising course, literally 20 years earlier. In fact, I look at the copyright's 1917. So he ran a course called Truthful Advertising at the George Washington Institute, and this is the only known copy of the actual lesson plans and everything of him teaching advertising, which I think is fascinating because you look at this, he spent 20 years teaching and doing advertising. He was a copywriter, he did all these kind of things. And then when he came out with his product one day, because he knew copywriting, he knew how to create offers, he knew these things, he was able to make Think and Grow Rich go and sell literally tens of millions of copies during his lifetime, which back then was way harder than nowadays. This is before there's Amazon or bookstores. This is all like through direct mail and things like that, which is still blows my mind. And so I started thinking, like, what did he know 20 years prior? What was he studying? What was he learning? So I've been going through this advertising course. One thing I thought was my favorite is after he got done teaching advertising, he actually decided to become a publisher. He wanted to publish a magazine. And some of you guys have heard of it, some of you haven't. He actually ended up publishing 2 magazines in his lifetime. The first one's called Hill's Golden Rule. I have been scouring the internet and I finally got a complete set of Hill's Golden Rule magazine. And this is it. In fact, I'm gonna open it up. This is the case I built for it to not damage it because these are all.
Also, I mean, Russell Brunson, he's crazy into books right now. Everything from business to self-development to marketing would not count him out on doing something really phenomenal. Especially, I mean, because let's see this, in the last couple of months, ClickFunnels officially crossed over $1 billion in sales. I think with the research that he's doing right now, I mean, he could really come out with a banger. right? Literally scouring the earth of the greatest like entrepreneurial minds ever. I just wanted to throw that out there because it's kind of similar to what Elon Musk did before he started Tesla and SpaceX. After he sold PayPal or Zip2 to PayPal and exited that company, kind of a similar thing that's going on here, except Russell Brunson's a little bit later in the game from when Elon Musk did it. But that also, in my eyes, in my brain, that makes him more dangerous because he has more experience, he has more money, he has more ability to really throw down the gauntlet. And besides just the fascination for this, I don't see why else he would be doing it.
Like so old and amazing. But this was the magazine he wrote. And you look inside, this is the very first inaugural issue, January 1919. And so this was the very first issue. It says, new magazine devoted to the interests of those who work for a living, which is kind of cool. When you read through it, there's like a dozen different authors in here. But when I read his autobiography, I found out that
That just triggered, for those who work for a living. I do believe this quote is from John D. Rockefeller, but one of the things that he said, and it's probably my favorite quote from Rockefeller, is that the problem of working is that it leaves you with no time to make money. Just think about that. Let that sink in. But if you work 9 to 5, it doesn't leave you time to actually do the things that are going to make you a wealthy individual, right? Like actually creating enterprise and economic value, right? Or build a business. So just a funny quote from Rockefeller that I remembered enjoy.
He couldn't afford other authors. So every author in here for the first, I think, 16 months or 17 months of the magazine were just him. And he just used a different pen name. So it looked like there were a bunch of authors contributing, but they're all on Napoleon Hill. Now think about this. He's launching a magazine and he's trying to get this thing out to the world. And so the first thing he's asking himself, I'm sure, as a marketer, as an advertiser, is like, how do I advertise this? How do I get people to subscribe to my magazine? And he created something that was so brilliant. This is the first thing I want to share with you guys. In these first issues, he said, every single month, I'm gonna write an article in here called Applied Psychology, teaching you guys this philosophy of applied psychology. So each month he started writing one article about it, and it went through 12 lessons that he was gonna do over the year. And when he got 6 months into the magazine, he's like, this is really good. People are loving this article on applied psychology. He went out and he said, hey, what I'm gonna do right now, if anybody subscribes to Hill's Golden Rule magazine, I'm gonna give you guys a book. The only way to get this book is to subscribe to the magazine. I'll give you this book for free, or you can buy it for $50. Now, $50 back in 1919 was equivalent of like, I think it's like $850 today. So he created a premium, sold it for $850. You could buy this book, or you can get it for free when you subscribe to Hill's Golden Rule magazine. How cool is that? And so he made booklet number 1, which was the first 6 lessons from the magazine. In the next 6 months, he put together the next 6 articles and made a second booklet. I read about this booklet inside of all these magazines. I saw the ads, because he started putting ads in here like, hey, if you subscribe for a year, I'll give you these 2 books for free. But I couldn't find those books anywhere. They were nowhere to be found online. I tried to talk to the Napoleon Hill Foundation. They had heard of them, but they didn't have them either. And so I've been scouring forever trying to find them. And again, these are the 2 premiums he used to get people to subscribe to Hill's Golden Rule magazine. And want to hear something kind of cool? I, about a year ago, located.
So fascinating. He was literally like, is this like the original freebie? I wonder if this is like the first documented case of like a freebie. That would be interesting. Because it's like, you know, subscribe and you'll get these 2 books for free. Like, I wonder if that's the first time that really happened. I mean, because that would be early 1900s. I don't know when the concept of a freebie was really invented, but I mean, that must be one of the first times. So that's really cool. I had no idea people were doing that way back when, right? That's kind of crazy.
He did the first booklet, and I thought that was the only one. I assumed he had never actually finished the second one, but about a week ago, I found the second one on eBay, and I got a huge bidding war against somebody and spent way more money than I probably should have, but I have acquired the 2 premiums that he used to get people on Hill's Golden Rule magazine, and they're actually in my safe. Do you just want to see them? So in here is the safe room where I put, you know, the most expensive, the best, the stuff that's the most rare and hard to find. So if this place catches on fire, it won't damage the book. So let me get in real quick. All right, so here are the 2. You excited to see these? Okay, so for here is the first one. It's called It Will Place You Wherever You Wish to Be Amongst Men. And it's Lessons in Applied Psychology. And this book is old and it's falling apart. This was the first premium, and basically there it is, Practical Lessons in Applied Psychology by Napoleon Hill, and it's a series of 6 lessons reprinted from the January to July issues of Hill's Golden Rule. furnished to paid and advanced subscribers so they may have the entire series which runs through the year. The booklet is not for sale, can be secured only through a year subscription of Hill's Golden Rule. Okay, this course and lesson was originally designed to sell for $50, which is crazy. These are all of the different articles here from the first 6 months. And again, for last year, I've been sitting on this, just realizing that I discovered it, I found it. It's so cool. But then on eBay, it popped up one day, just randomly. And I don't think the person who owned it knew what it was, but me and somebody else definitely did. And we got in this huge bidding war, and I won. So check this out. This is booklet number 2. It'll place you wherever you wish to be amongst men. The Great Magic Ladder to Success. When you open this one, boom, it starts with the ladder to success right here. And then lesson 7, the Great Magic Ladder to Success. And it goes through the rest of them. How cool is that? So there you go. These are the 2 premiums that Napoleon Hill used to get people to subscribe to his newsletter. So this is part of the key, premiums. I want you to understand why these are so important, and we'll explain the rest of it when we get back there into the Napoleon Hill room. How cool is that? If any of you guys are subscribers to Secrets of Success, we are republishing those 2 booklets, and you can get it for free over at secretsofsuccess.com/roundpegs. I'll put the link down in the description. But if you want to actually read for the first time ever, they are actually in a reprinted book that we got the rights to reprint, and you can have access to it at secretsofsuccess.com/roundpegs. Anyway, that's how Napoleon Hill, that's what he used to get people to subscribe to his magazine. And again, they would call it a premium back in the day. How do you attach a premium to something? Now nowadays we usually call stuff like this bonuses. Like how do you attach a bonus to get somebody to want to buy something, right? But the key that most people understand, they create offers and they make bonuses and they put together some random stuff and throw things together. Key with the bonus, there's a lot of different things you can think about, but you have to create a premium or a bonus that's so good that it's better than the thing that you're selling already. In fact, one of my favorite stories about this, if you ever remember watching infomercials or commercials in the 80s, Sports Illustrated was a struggling magazine, and they were trying to get off the ground, trying to get people to subscribe. It got to the point where they were almost at bankruptcy, and then somebody on the marketing team was a genius. Maybe they read Napoleon Hill's old advertising course or something, but like, we need to attach a premium. We need to attach something to this subscription that'll be more exciting than the actual subscription. So they created an offer, and some of you guys may have seen it before. One of my friends, Todd Hine, actually sent me this after I told the story the first time. This was the football phone that they sold back in the day. So check this out. If you remember the ad.
It's a phone call.
It looks like a football, but works like a regular phone. On-off ringer, mute button, and automatic redial.
Hello, Colleen. This is fantastic. I'm at the stadium right now. I have a football phone.
Cute.
You see that? This is the football phone. So to get people to subscribe to Sports Illustrated, it wasn't like, hey, buy our subscription, right? It was like, here's a premium that's so good, you want it anyway, but the only way to get the premium is to subscribe to the actual newsletter, right? Same thing with Sports Illustrated. The only way to get the football phone, can you imagine? Do you remember talking to this? Hello? We should make a football iPhone. Anyway, the only way to get this amazing phone was to subscribe to Sports Illustrated. So that's the power of a premium. Now, I want to share for all you guys just to think through this in your business, right? Now, obviously we talk about bonuses and things like that, but this is, if you position your head as a premium, it's different than a bonus, right? For example, one of the things we've been doing recently is when somebody registers for our web classes, right? We do a webinar, a challenge. One of the hardest things to do is to get people to actually show up, right? How many of you guys run webinars or web classes? You may go and spend a bunch of money on ads to get people to register. Let's say you register 1,000 people to come to one of your webinars, then you only get like 15 to 20% show up. So of the 1,000 people, you may have spent $3 or $4 a lead on Facebook, right? You spend $3,000 or $4,000, but only 150 people actually show up, right? Or maybe you get 100 people to register and only 15 show up. Like, it's hard to make the math and the metrics work, right? So how do you get more people to show up? One of my Inner Circle members, Tim Shields, I saw him doing this on his webinars. Now, Tim's in the photography market, and if you're on his email list, you notice every single week he promotes a web class he's going to be teaching, but he doesn't just promote the web class, he attaches a premium.
When you watch to the end, you're going to get my brand new collection of Sunrise cheat cards.
I saw him doing this over and over and over again. I know that he had won our 2 Commonwealth Club X Award. I know his business is doing really, really well. So I thought, I'm going to try to attach a premium to my webinars as well. And so we did 2 versions of a webinar at salesfunnels.com, and it had 2 different premiums. One of them was a swipe file book that people get for free when they registered and showed up for the web class.
How many of you guys want this swipe file? Oh, it's amazing.
The second one was a booklet called Funnel Audibles that they got for free when they registered and actually showed up.
This is a gift you are going to love.
What's crazy about this is number one thing it did is it got way more people to actually register for the web class. Went from getting, in a campaign maybe we would have got 3,000 or 4,000 people to register. We got closer to 8,000 and 9,000 people to register just because the premium was so good. Just like Napoleon Hill, you wanted that thing so bad that you would go and subscribe to the newsletter. If you wanted the football phone so bad, you would go and subscribe to the newsletter because the premium was even better than the thing, right? For me, it's like I'm trying to get someone to register for a 90-minute session with me, right? And so right now they're coming because of the content. They have to judge, is this content worth 90 minutes? I don't know if it is or not. And so to reward them, I attach a premium. It's so powerful, it's so good. They're gonna want to register because even if they get no value from the 90 minutes with me, they still get that premium at the end, right? And then at the very beginning of the webinar, I told people, like I said, at the end of the web class, I'm gonna be giving you a link.
So again, like biggest thing you can do, and like biggest tip for me is if you're doing something like this, if you have a freebie or a premium or a bonus or whatever, way to generate leads, way to get people to come to your webinar is use ManyChat on IG Reels and Facebook Reels with a CTA at the end of your description to get people to comment a keyword that will then send an automation to their IG DMs. That way you're in a one-on-one conversation with them. You can send them a freebie there. You can send them a link to your webinar. You can send them whatever you want, have a sales conversation, whatever it is, right? But you're giving something of value away in order to start that conversation with them and earn their trust, right? And when you pair like a freebie with a video that are aligned with an aligned CTA, I was talking about this on a coaching call earlier today, you get really special stuff that happens there. You can get hundreds, sometimes thousands of people to comment. You can have opt-in rates of upwards of 50, 60, 70%, and it can do like just crazy things to your business, to your sales, to growing your email list, to your overall marketing. It can help your other content perform better because you're getting high engagement. Just a lot of really amazing things that can happen when you have like a really good free offer that you're, offering in exchange for something of value to you, right? And that just gets more and more people into your marketing pipelines and down into your sales pipelines as well.
Link to this. I'm gonna verbally give you the link at the end of the presentation, and so that means you have to stay on for the entire thing because I'll be giving it to you verbally, which means you have to actually be on the web class and you have to stay on.
That's like the other thing is like, if you're giving something away, for example, and like this applies to content so hard. And I love his example of the webinar because if you gave that away or if you were able to skip to the end, if it was pre-recorded or whatever it is, if it was like down below in the description, people aren't going to stick around. They're going to hit it. They're going to go get that link and they're going to dip, right? Because they don't think there's the value in the webinar, right? For whatever reason. So, and same thing with your content. If you're talking about like, the 3 biggest things to success, and you say the 3 biggest things to success, and then you go into the story of how you applied all of them, that isn't going to work. You need to do the story first and then give away what you promised in the beginning, because then they're waiting for that payoff, right? So you always do the payoff at the end of your organic content in order to retain the highest possible like user like average view duration, AVD, or average watch time, right? Because you want those users to consume all of your content. Otherwise, they don't get the value. You don't build the relationship with them. Overall, it's a lose-lose. So you have to apply the same principle when you're doing organic content. Same with doing ads, right? You want to encourage them to stick around. And if you give them the payoff right away, you lost all of your leverage, all of your incentivizing factors to get them to interact with you.
And you don't know when it's going to happen, but it's going to be coming, so you have to make sure you stay on. I'm going to verbally give it to you. So people got on there and then they sat there and listening. They didn't just sign up, he's going to email me the premium. They knew the only way to get it is to be live, and I was going to tell them the link to download the premium. I mentioned at the very beginning of the web class when we first got started. 10 minutes in, I mentioned it again, and then went through the entire training. And then before I made my special offer, I reminded them that when I'm done with telling you about the offer, I'm going to give you guys access to this premium. Then I went through, did the stack and the close, so sign people up on my course, and then I offer them the premium at the end. And when all said and done, the numbers is by attaching a premium to this online webinar that we did, we got way more people to register at lower cost, way more people to show up, way more people to stick to the end, stick through the close, and then there's better reciprocity because at the end of it, whether they bought or they didn't, they left with something valuable to end the event. And so that's just one way to attach a premium, right, to a webinar. You can do it with the webinar, with a challenge, with a live event, however you're doing it. It's a great, powerful way to get people to show up. Now, the second way you can use the premium is the same way that Napoleon Hill was using it, the same way Sports Illustrated using it, which is actually tying the premium to getting them to buy something from you. For example, as I mentioned earlier, I do have a membership site called Secrets of Success. It's a $97 a month membership site where I go and I show people, I give access to people of these old books and manuscripts and audio recordings and things like that. And we have book clubs and mastermind. It's a really cool program. But to get people in there, I don't say, hey, sign up for $97 a month. Instead, I create a really cool premium. Okay, and it was my premium. I told you part of it right now. Number one, I give people a free copy of the book Think and Grow Rich. Number two, I give them a copy of the premium from Hill's Golden Rule magazine, right? The lessons on applied psychology. I put that into a book. They get a physical copy of that as well. And number three, I give them another unpublished book from Napoleon Hill called The Secrets of Master Salesmanship, right? I put all three of those things together into a box. I ship it out for free when they subscribe to the membership site. And that premium has added thousands and thousands and thousands of people to our continuity program. So the key is, how do you create a premium that's so good that'll get people to actually show up to your live trainings, that'll actually get people to register for your Facebook groups, right? That'll get people to actually sign up for your membership sites or your courses or whatever thing might be. Stop thinking about, like, what are the bonuses I can throw in to get people.
Now, the key thing here is the premium that he did aligns with the offer. Sometimes people will do like freebies or premiums or bonuses that don't 100% align with the offer and what their target avatar, what their target customer really wants. And that's what'll, lead to that flopping. They have to align to really be like a home run offer. And what do I mean by that? So in like his whole thing, like Think and Grow Rich, like his Secrets of Success membership, right? It's all about like learning from the past, learning from the world's greatest entrepreneurs. So Napoleon Hill, someone who talked to like the is it Dale Carnegie? I forgot what his first name is. The guy who basically built the steel industry in the U.S., one of the big three, J.P. Morgan and Rockefeller, a titan of industry, and writing all of that information down. Like, again, that's something that aligns. It's something that people who are part of that membership really want, what they're looking for and why they came there. So publishing his other works, like, it all aligns into what would be like a home run offer that is not only going to get people into his membership, but also encourage them to stick around, because all of that is aligned.
To make the offer better. Instead, start thinking, what's the premium that's so good it's more valuable than the actual thing I'm selling? So when they see that and you drop, like, here's what you're gonna get, their mind's blown, like, I have to give you money. I have to be part of this, right? And so start thinking about the premiums you can create. It's the highest way to increase your sales, get more people to show up, and to change your business forever. So if you can learn one thing from Napoleon Hill today, that is to create premiums inside of your business and for all of your offers.
Awesome. So yeah, I can't emphasize that enough. Huge way to do that right now is obviously utilizing ManyChat to either grow your email list, get people to show up to your webinars, getting people to literally buy from you in the DMs. Doesn't matter what you're selling, whether it's an e-product or a service, it can be done both ways. And there's lots of ways where you can even automate that process now. And there's tons of ways where you can not only do that to get them into your pipeline, but offer bonuses on top of that to get them to purchase and buy as well. One of the huge things we did last year, when we did like a $500,000 sales month for our Black Friday launch, is we literally, as part of the bonus, we added in a couple of different things, one of them being an extra month of consulting with us in our program. And all of those little things, they added up to allow us to not only close and get a ton more people into our pipeline, but close at a higher average close rate than we normally did. So I would 100% agree with everything that Russel Brunson actually said in this video. Phenomenal way to not only market yourself, get more people to watch your content, attend your webinars, opt into your forums and email lists, but also it's just a great way to grow your business through sales as well. Hopefully you guys got a lot of value from this. I thought it was super cool seeing all of those older books that he has. I'm a little jealous. Hopefully one day, because I'm kind of like getting into more obscure books as I've read more. Hopefully one day I'll be able to have an awesome library like he does. And as always, if you guys got any value from this video, please subscribe to the channel. It makes a huge difference for helping me reach entrepreneurs just like you who want to grow their businesses and invest the rest. Thanks and have a great day, guys.